The day I confirmed the numbers, the woman at the lottery office didn't smile. She adjusted her glasses, checked the screen again, then said very evenly, "Congratulations." It wasn't cinematic. No balloons. No trembling hands, just a printed sheet and a number that felt too clean to belong to me. Several million. I drove home slowly. I remember noticing a crack in my windshield I'd been ignoring for months. I could replace the entire car now. I could replace the house. I could replace most of my life. Instead, I made coffee. The first feeling wasn't excitement, it was distance. Because money doesn't just buy comfort, it changes gravity. It pulls people in, and I wanted to know something before that happened. For years, I'd been the unstable one in my family. Not irresponsible, just inconsistent. Freelance work, long gaps between contracts. Big ideas, smaller savings. At gatherings, advice came easily. Financial help never did. I wasn't resentful, just observant. So I decided not to tell anyone the winnings were processed through the state office, legally verified, and scheduled for public disclosure in a few weeks. That gave me a window. I started with something modest. I told my older brother a client payment had fallen through and I was short on rent. I didn't dramatize it. I didn't beg. I asked if he could lend me a small amount less than what he'd spent on his last vacation. He sighed, not loudly, just enough. "You really need to plan better," he said. "I can't keep bailing people out." He'd never bailed me out. My parents were softer but more evasive. "We wish we could help," my mother said, "but things are tight." She then suggested I move back home temporarily. I'm 37. A cousin sent me a budgeting spreadsheet. Each call ended quickly, efficiently, as if discomfort had a timer. I told myself this was unfair. They didn't owe me anything. Love isn't a transaction. But neither is it only advice. The last call was to Samir, my quieter cousin, the one who sits at the end of the table during weddings. We'd never been especially close. I delivered the same careful story, same amount requested. There was a pause. I heard him exhale. "I don't have much," he said, "but I can transfer half tonight, the rest after my paycheck next week." Half, it wasn't even the full amount. "You're sure?" I asked. "Yeah," he said. "We'll figure it out."
No lecture, no analysis, just shared risk.
That night he sent the money. I didn't need it. It sat in my account like a quiet accusation. 2 weeks later, the state made the announcement. In accordance with policy, the winner's name was released publicly. It ran on the local news website. My phone began vibrating before I'd finished reading the article. My brother's call came first. "You won," he said, laughing in disbelief. "Why didn't you tell us?" My mother cried. My father talked about family planning. Investment ideas surfaced with impressive speed. There was talk of consolidating properties, starting something together. No one mentioned my recent rent issue. I suggested we meet the following Sunday. They arrived with pastries. I'd already met with a financial advisor, an independent firm recommended by the Lottery Commission. The paperwork was precise, boring, protective. We sat around my dining table. "I want to clarify something," I said. I kept my voice steady, calm, almost detached. "I received confirmation of the winnings before I asked any of you for help. Silence doesn't slam, it settles." My brother frowned. "What do you mean?" "I mean, when I called about being short on rent, I already had the money." My mother's hand froze around her cup. I wanted to see who would help without knowing. No one raised their voice. That's the thing. No explosions, just shifting posture, defensive realignments. That's manipulative. My brother said, "Maybe." I answered. I didn't argue. I didn't accuse. I simply stated the dates, the transfers, the timing. Facts feel colder than anger. Then I slid another document across the table. "I've created a family trust," I said. "It will be managed by an external advisor. Any financial requests will go through formal review. No direct transfers." My father leaned back, stunned. "You don't trust us?" I held his gaze. "I trust patterns?" Samir arrived late. He'd come straight from work, still in his uniform. He looked confused by the tension. I handed him an envelope. "I'm repaying you?" I said quietly, "with interest." He tried to refuse, I insisted. "And I'd like to invest in your workshop idea," I added, "separately, if you're still interested." The room shifted again, not dramatically, but unmistakably. Control wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. There were no threats, no punishments, just structure. My brother left early. My mother hugged me, but it felt careful. My father said we'd talk later. Samir stayed behind. You didn't have to do that, he said. I know. Why'd you test them? I considered the question. I needed to know whether love shows up before the spotlight. He nodded, though I'm not sure he agreed. After they left, the house felt larger. I don't feel victorious. Wealth didn't heal anything. It clarified. Maybe the test was unfair. Maybe I wanted proof of something that doesn't exist in clean lines. People help when it's convenient. They hesitate when it's not. That's human. But one person stepped forward without leverage. Money didn't change my family. It just removed the excuse. And now when my phone rings, I let it ring longer, not out of bitterness, out of choice.